Today we will beat most of the remaining levels of the secret page in Bruno Mode EX+, secret levels in this modded version of the game that all have their own unique gimmicks and are all very difficult. The first level I'm showcasing today is Zombie Dissension Strategem. This is a reference to the Chinese essay 36 Stratagems. It's like the Art of War, but about stratagems. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked here. You can pause for the Wikipedia explanation. This level has 4 flags and the only zombies are Coneheads, Basics, and Digger Zombies. Digger Zombies make perfect sense, nothing wrong about that. So what's the deal here? A Digger Zombie at literally wave 2. Really? This early. Now, we have to spend so much sun early game just so we don't lose all our flower pots, because these guys eat from the underground. Thankfully, I had Potato Mine which can insta-kill diggers, but because we killed a digger zombie, we triggered the 50% health threshold, and the new digger zombie immediately spawns again. Well, this is going to require a lot of readjusting in our strategy because it is not suitable against early digger spam. So we need more digger counters, hence I brought in Imitator Potato Mine as an extra defense against them. But we don't actually even need it, because here's the real twist. Yup. Digger zombies appear before the first flag because they are actually in a unique state of neutrality. They can attack both plants and zombies, and we cannot kill them if they pop out of the ground as if they were hypnotized to our plants. This creates an interesting dynamic of us deciding how to utilize its abilities. We can kill it with a potato mine or let it take out some flower pots in exchange for it to defend the lane it's in. Now we actually know what the gimmick of the level is, we can effectively set up a defense that would allow us to beat this level and get by the neutral digger zombies in this level. My plan for the early game is simple. Cycle through our instance. We guarantee our sunflower safety by doing so, since melon poults won't be doing anything to defend off digger zombies. I also set up a lot of tall nuts in preparation to protect my melon poult lineup. As we saw in Survival Endless, tall nuts are very effective at stopping digger zombies and killing them. After I get a full column of tall nuts as our digger zombie defense, we can start setting up our melon poults and buff them with a planter to absolutely shred through the brown coat zombies. However, the problem with this strategy is with the gimmick of the level. Tall nuts can only hold for so many digger zombies, and they eventually wear down and digger zombies infiltrate. Since these diggers are technically hypnotized, once they come off the ground, we cannot kill them with anything, including Doomshroom to stop them from eating up all our plants. Once I started losing sunflowers, my economy was no longer strong enough to sustain replanting tall nuts. Like a domino chain effect, us getting overwhelmed in one lane indicates the downfall of our entire defense. Obviously, this run is pretty dead at this point, with how our defense looks when we still got a lot of the level to go, and it seems like just one column of tall nuts isn't going to cut it for us in this level. To solve this problem, I'm bringing in Imitated Doomshroom instead of Imitated Potato Mine. It means we have to sack a bunch of flower pots early, but it had to be done for the greater good. I'm still using melon poults even though I have double Doomshroom, because it defends off all the brown coat zombies, preserving the health of our tall nuts to block off just digger zombies. When the time is right and we see a bunch of digger zombies grouped up, we just simply activate our instant kill to clear them out easily. With us spending a Doomshroom every 2 waves, this basically guarantees that we can kill them all, and we won't have to deal with their neutrality. With this dumb strategy and melon poult spam hybrid strategy, we can beat Zombie Dissension Strategem pretty easily. So, this next level has some zombies that we have to deal with. Alright, so Conehead Peashooter Zombies mean that it's the time for us to return to the dumb strategy, garlic variation to move the Conehead Peashooter Zombies into empty lanes. With newspaper zombies as well as zombonis, I suppose we also need to bring in Tallnut and Chomper to counter them respectively. What could possibly go wrong here?
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the?
Well, looks like we have a pretty big problem in this level. Enormous, some may say. So as if Conehead Peashooter Zombies weren't already annoying enough in their base form, their damage is now quadrupled in this level as Melons deal 4 times more damage than Peas. This is because this level is conveniently named P to Melon. All P projectiles have now been converted to Melon projectiles, quadrupling the effectiveness of the P shooting class. The other thing about Melon projectiles is that they also hit shorter plants, so even Sunshrooms and Puffshrooms cannot escape the wrath of Conehead Peashooter Zombies. No dodging from the projectiles fired by Peashooter Zombies, plus they do quadruple damage, and there's 4 flights of this garbage, and we still have Gatling P zombies to deal with. Wow. Saying the early game was hard is an understatement. It was a nightmare. Having to deal with Peashooter Zombies that deal quadruple damage is ridiculous, with no extra sun and this being in nighttime. I tried doing the all-in or miss strategy where I stack all some producers into just one lane and pray that early game zombies simply don't show up there to at least get an economy going. But the stupidity does not end here. Garlic doesn't even do crap when the one we placed literally died after only 3 waves because of how much damage Peashooter Zombies did to it. I imagine using garlic protection would not be a sustainable strategy if we need to replace each garlic every 3 waves, so I brought back one of the forgotten plants, Scaredy Shroom. Their high health, low cost, and fast recharge will help us defend against Peashooter Zombies. That's what I thought until I realized even Scaredy Shroom was too expensive. With even the cheapest plants like Scaredy Shroom out of reach this level, our only option is to imitate Puff Shroom to use as a free wall plant and defend off this madness early on. With this, we can now survive for a few more waves than usual, so we can start saving up some to get tall nuts for the long run. That is, until I had to deal with this bungee ambush with just Puff Shrooms. Yeah, they're also in this level because bucketheads. To avoid having the same problem again, I made sure to freeze the target zombie before killing it with Doom Shroom. Without further troubles now, this finally allows us to get enough sun to start planting down real attackers instead of just instant kills. And this is very important this level because...
Hello there.
That's right, because not only do the zombies get a huge upscale in power, but our own pea shooting plants also get the buff where all pea projectiles become melons. With us finally affording our own overpowered plants, we can finally make it past the early game of the level onto the first flag. Unfortunately, we also then have to deal with the zombie. Yup, just when I thought I was able to turn things around by getting some overpowered attackers of our own, we have to deal with this monstrosity of the Gatling Pea Zombie. A spread attack of melons across all lanes attacking extremely fast. Not any amount of Puff Shrooms will prevent us from losing against this. I was able to get up more snow peas than in my last run, but there's still no match compared to the insane Gatling Pea Zombies who can shred up a tall nut in just one wave of time. Their spread attack is also capable of wiping out our entire sun production within just a minute, and there's no way we can stop this if we don't have enough sun to block its shots or kill it. With us not having enough wall plants to block off Gatling Pea Zombies in the last attempt, I switched to using pea shooters in the early game instead of snow pea. Pea shooters are considerably cheaper, and we also gain extra benefit of farming up their attack speed early game, making them a more worthy investment. Although I was able to get up a full column of pea shooters before the first flag, I wasn't able to get a full column of defensive plants though, and didn't even have planter buff. Very quickly, this defense proved to be way too fragile against the Gatling Pea Zombies. We're going to need a lot more defense than this right now to not lose against these zombies. This meant that our early game was simply not efficient enough right now to let us make it past the great barrier of what is the Gatling Pea Zombies. I employed the strategy of sacrificing just one lane so I could focus on defending fewer lanes in the very first 3 waves of the level, but to no avail, because of a newspaper zombie I didn't have sufficient defense for. To beat the level, you need to be extremely lucky in the first few waves. There's no way to squeeze any extra sun than what I'm doing here, which is only defending using Puff Shrooms. We need extreme luck to freeze the newspaper zombie with 1 Puff Shroom to kill it for free using more Puff Shrooms, and then also hope that pea shooter zombies don't show up early. If we're lucky enough, we'll be able to afford our pea shooter and more blocking plants to combo down every pea shooter zombie we see, while not losing any sun shrooms in the process. We can get our last pea shooter to fill up an entire column by the 7th wave of the level with optimal early game economy, securing 3 waves of time for us to build up walls and not die. I was also able to set up my snow peas and planter support before the first flag to secure board-wide slowdown. Surely, this time we have enough defense against Gatling Pea Zombies. And I will be correct, because we spent so much more time on beefing up our pea shooters early, we're able to wipe out the majority of zombies instead of having zombies do that to us. Hell, zombies don't even make it past the 9th column now that we also have the Winter Melon slowdown on steroids from the Snow Pea. Walls are not even necessary against newspaper zombies. In addition, being quite lucky and seeing no Gatling Pea Zombies in the first 2 waves of the first flag is pretty helpful, as we get a bit more time to set up our wall plants before we have to deal with them. And by now, we have enough to set up our full line of wall plants, securing in the safety of our sun producers, and now it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy pea shooters destroying everything. The difficulty of the level becomes a joke now that we have a plant that matches the power of the zombies alike, and Giga Gargantuars are getting melted like butter. The last few waves of the level were fairly quick and painless, as we cleared the entirety of the 2nd to 3rd flag in less than 2 minutes, and there's pretty much no way we can lose the level. Which is why it's a great time to press subscribe, because the last time I asked you guys, only about 1,500 people did it. We've only improved by 1%. What are the other 74% of other people doing? Anyways, in the meantime, I've been adding more extra Peashooters into the back of this defense to make it even better than it already is, and yeah, pretty much nothing is ever breaking through. This is P to Melon completed with Peashooters and Snow Peas. Shame they needed artificial buffs to be useful. The next level is called Dr. Newspaper's Revenge. I highly suggest watching part 7 first to see the original Dr. Newspaper boss fight in 710. A quick recap for those who forgot, the Dr. Newspaper boss fight gives 500,000 sun to set up any defense. You have one flag to do so before it comes and changes all the seed packets. The level is similar to the Dr. Newspaper from 710 with a few changes. The main difference is that it only stays in its first phase instead of having 4 phases like the original boss from 710. Of course, we still have to deal with all its first phase abilities. Be always ready to plant Doomshroom and use 2 Mega Coffee Beans to wake up the backline plants once it turns night. One notably harder part of the boss is that it steals 4 random seed packets during daytime instead of only 1 seed packet. This makes getting magnifying grass from our seeds much less likely. Our strategy this level is still to get the magnifying grass, the yellow tinted scaredy shroom during daytime, and spam click on it to deal damage as fast as possible on the boss before getting overrun. Unfortunately, my Doomshroom got frozen by a Zombotany here, as there were 3 Zombotany spawned by the boss's ability. Should have paid more attention to what zombies respawn. So, I did the level again with the same strategy again. Notably, I'm just using a loadout that I beat 710 with, but with Winter Melons instead of Torchwood to save space. Once again, the strategy here is the same as last time, but I'm just hoping that the game is nicer to us this time and gives us the plants we need in daytime to kill Dr. Newspaper fast enough. Our initial luck was completely rotten, as the boss just kept switching between daytime and nighttime, and we didn't even have time to utilize our magnifying grass to do damage. Very quickly, its Flames of Darkness completely demolished almost every plant we had planned down initially, as all my Winter Melons are now dead, as well as most of my Gatling Peas. But we're still surviving here quite well because the boss isn't spawning any Zombonis, which are the main threat to us, as their fast speed makes it hard to react to and its freezing mechanic is also devastating. Otherwise, basically anything else the boss can spawn is just a slow clump of who knows what, which can basically be stalled by just blowers and tall nuts pretty easily. We also get much luckier with how long daytime is lasting in this attempt. With over a minute of daytime for us to get in damage against the boss, this is looking much better than our last run. However, a longer daytime also means we could not rebuild our attacking plants very quick, as we only have 6 seed packets during the day. Striking a good balance between day and night is of essence in the amount of luck required to get through this boss fight. And luckily, the level is now at the final wave, meaning no more new zombies will be spawning naturally, allowing us to focus down our last bit of damage against the boss instead. We're just waiting for the game to switch back to daytime and hopefully that the boss won't steal our magnifying grass seed packet, and there it is. Daytime at last, and we have the plant. With the boss having close to no health left, we just need to click our magnifying grass a few more times to kill it, and that's basically Dr. Newspaper's Revenge, completed in 2 attempts. This next level actually inspired me to do one of the challenges I did many months ago on the channel. The level is called Highlander, and in this level, you begin with 2000 sun. The reason you begin with 2000 sun instead of 50 is that you can only have one of each plant on the board at the same time. A plant with a copy already on the lawn does not recharge, as you can clearly see from this sunflower seed packet. My first instinct was to immediately choose the most powerful plants, so Melon Pulse and Winter Melons and instant kills, but I don't even know how I made a defense looking like this garbage. What the hell was I thinking of separating my Melon Pole away from my planter and umbrella leaf? And what are these sunflowers doing here in the middle of nowhere? And why did I put my twin sunflower in the open and then sunflower behind the tall nut? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but this is a completely atrocious defense that obviously doesn't work. The only way we can defend the 3 other lanes is basically to Doomshroom every wave, which our economy of a sunflower and a twin sunflower is nowhere near enough to support. I quickly reorganized my defense to a structure that suits us to use Cherry Bomb instead of Doomshroom, as Cherry Bomb is much cheaper. Lanes 1 and 2 can be dealt with using our Melon Pulse, while we can kill the zombies in the 3 other lanes with a Cherry Bomb if we stall and group them up enough with Blover's Pushback. But then, I realized the problem using Melon Pulse against a particular zombie. That is the Angry Dancer. There's no way just one Winter Melon can defend against it, so this is definitely not the solution. The next plant I considered was using Cob Cannon. Now, first of which, you can't even get Cob Cannon with just one Kernel Pult, so I had to imitate it so I can evolve for a Cob Cannon. The benefit of Cob Cannon is that we can target any row of our choice, allowing us to flexibly defend against any lane that may be a danger to us. Of course, just one Cob Cannon and 2 Kernel Pulse isn't going to be enough to deal with everything the game throws at us for 3 flags, so we also need to bring in Doomshroom. We managed to make it to the first flag with this strategy, which is already far better than the Melon Pulse strategy that folded completely after one Angry Dancer. At this point, I started using blowovers to slow down and group up multiple waves together to make use of our one Doomshroom seed as much as possible. Efficient use of Doomshroom is extremely important when we have such a limited supply of sun. The tall nut in the first lane is also still holding up extremely well, and it has protected our Cop Cannon just fine for the entire level so far without even degrading, so it should be enough for the remaining duration. Or at least it should have been. I used both my Doomshroom and Cop Cannon shot last wave, so I don't have anything to kill the flag zombie immediately, making me lose all my sun. Whoops. I tried again with the same loadout, with better blower usage to plant more efficient Doomshrooms. I was able to save out on a lot of sun, while still defending off everything. I made sure to not repeat the mistake we made last time, so I stalled the wave before the second flag until the second flag came, to spend a Doomshroom to kill the flag zombie instantly. The strategy after the second flag is more or less the same as what we've already been doing. Cop Cannon off danger zombies and spend blowers to stall out waves to get efficient Doomshrooms. However, we've now ate through most of our sun reserve, and we don't really have any more sun left to stall the last few waves of the level, and we're forced to let our last lawnmowers go. This unfortunately could not be saved as a target zombie spawns a football zombie, which ends up being completely unkillable for us as we had just used our Cop Cannon shot. Surely, this is finally the level where Cop Cannon is useful, other than in Survival Endless, right? I tried with the same loadout again, seeing as last time, it was just bad luck that made us lose. But it really isn't that uncommon for a bungee ambush to spawn a zombie that ruins your chances of winning. We need a way to stop these bungee ambushes or we can't beat this level. Trying the same strategy over and over again to expect different results from getting lucky is pretty stupid, because more often than not, it's not going to help. So I had a very bold idea. I'm using Sunshroom in daytime. This is the first time I've ever woken up a Sunshroom with a coffee bean, but I'm hoping that this little bit of extra sun can support the dumb strategy. The issue with using the dumb strategy in this level has always been to do with how much sun we need to constantly plant Doomshrooms, and yet we have such a limited supply of it. Using the dumb strategy also gives enough slots for us to use Ice Shroom plus Cherry Bomb to prevent bungee ambushes, so hopefully this is enough for us to make it past all 3 flags. We sailed past the first section of the level as usual, but the problems really begin when Pogo Zombies show up. We used to be able to spend just a cop shot to kill a stray Pogo Zombie and leave all the other zombies alive to stall the wave out, but now we need to spend Cherry Bomb or Doomshroom. Neither of those are great options. Cherry Bomb for one zombie alone is bad value, and so is Doomshroom, since it makes the next wave appear immediately, giving us no time to stall. We make it to the second flag with around the same amount of sun as our previous run, and after killing the flag zombie immediately with a Doomshroom, this bungee ambush had to spawn a newspaper zombie to screw us over. Our sun production gets completely demolished, and now with no economy at all, the chances of us making it to the final wave is basically 0, as I only have 1 lawnmower remaining to spare. After 2 more Doomshrooms for the next 2 waves of zombies, this run is pretty much over at this point as we have 2 digits worth of sun to deal with this angry dancer. I mean, the amount of runs I'm losing because of bungee ambushes is getting out of hand. All I want to do is save a lawnmower from an angry dancer, and I have to deal with this garbage because I didn't plant an Ice Shroom first. Come on, man. Just because of this bungee ambush, I'm going to lose all my lawnmowers just because I cannot kill a football zombie without going broke. Even bringing Ice Shroom to prevent as many bungee ambushes as possible, I still managed to get into these losing positions every run. Not only that, the increase in zombie density is very harsh. There's almost always letterheads, pogos, or angry dancers in every wave, and stalling is really difficult against these fast zombies. Ice Shroom was doing practically nothing to stop bungee ambushes, and I was struggling to save up enough sun to use later on, so I decided to ditch it here in favor of Puff Shroom. Puff Shroom stalling is very niche, as it can only stop a zombie for a very short duration, but it's completely free, so might as well have something to use if we're not going to go for Ice Shroom. And once again, I have no idea how this manages to happen every time in every run. Yet another football zombie from a bungee ambush. Why does it have to be a football zombie? To me, it doesn't seem like Puff Shroom solved any of our problems, so I opted to switch back to Ice Shroom, even if it wasn't very effective at stopping target zombies. At this point, it was already my 12th try on this level and I've spent easily more than 2 hours already. There really was not much more room for improvement I could find. I'm not exactly sure if there's any other plant that could possibly improve this loadout, but what I do know is that we can get by this level much easier if target zombies simply don't spawn. That's exactly what has been going on for this entire level so far. Not a sight of target zombies at all, and I'm just sitting comfortable here, doing my Doomshrooms wave after wave. very quickly, we're closing into our demise, with only a few hundred cents left to use. But that's fine, because this is the wave before the final wave. Ice Shroom comes in clutch to freeze this wave for us so we can use our very last bit of sun on the one last Doom Shroom to kill everything and finally close off this level of only one of each plant. Or at least I thought it did. The fact that our sun production is so limited forces us to use only the most cost-efficient solutions against the zombies, which makes the level just frustrating as we can't cut our losses easily. We can't bring in Potato Mine or Squash to kill a stray letterhead, since we need to have literally goddamn Sunshroom to even get Sun to plant Doomshroom in the first place. The frustration really hits hard in this run. Here, I spent a Cherry Bomb to intentionally send out the next wave earlier to make better use of our Doomshroom to clear more waves at once. And I do this only to get screwed by an Angry Dancer taking advantage of the fact that all our instant kills are on cooldown, making us lose instantly as we have literally nothing but Blover. I will not be kidding about how much frustration is in this level. I managed to not get unlucky in my next run, so I made it all the way to the final wave with our last bit of sun again. I spent my last bit of sun on a Doomshroom, lo and behold, yet another bungee ambush that spawns a fast zombie, this time a ladder zombie, and we have 0 sun to defend it. Come on! And I would quickly find out just how stupid this would be once again. Target zombie dies to a Doomshroom as we needed to spend one to kill an Angry Dancer, and we get a Gargantuar. The consequence of the target zombies when we have just 3 damaging plants is so immensely large. And guess what? More target zombies galore, and we get even more unlucky. So I suppose that I had enough with the crap of the random zombies killing us over and over again, so it's time to change things up a bit by bringing in Squash instead of Cherry Bomb. We can still use Squash to kill a frozen target zombie to prevent its bungee ambush, but it's considerably cheaper and also recharges faster, so we can much more consistently do it. So how much sun do we save by having Squash instead of Cherry Bomb? Well, first, we still have 1500 sun by the first flag, which is considerably better than our last few times. It's also considerably better to use compared to Cherry Bomb when we just need to stop a single zombie like a letterhead, which is what we're struggling with, not masses of fast zombies. And finally, for once, I feel like the Ice Shroom plus instant kill strategy is actually helping out, as so far every single bungee ambush has been prevented using Ice Shroom and Squash. We make it to the second flag with 1100 sun, which is about the same as previous runs, but this time with more lawnmowers still left, which is a good sign of Squash working out better for us. From here on out, it's smooth sailing. We've not seen a single bungee ambush yet so far, and even our Doomshrooms are becoming more efficient, killing 3 waves at once. We're closing onto the final few waves of the level with more than 700 sun. It's safe to say that Squash was a good choice, and it will push us over the edge to beat this level once and for all. And that's the final wave. Just another Ice Shroom and Squash combo, and we've successfully prevented every bungee ambush throughout the level, and beaten Highlander. That's all for today's levels of Brutal Mode EX Plus' secret page. Unfortunately, this was a shorter video because I couldn't fit all the remaining levels into one video, but next time, we'll finish off the secret page. Remember to subscribe to stay tuned, and thank you to our channel members for supporting the RCCH channel. For now, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.